Good morning, Rise Up Nation. It is Vince here, your host. You'll notice I'm minus Tad today. He's got some incredible things going on at home with some sick kiddos, and there's the description he gave me was pretty rough, so we're going to leave it at that. But you do see Tyler Morton here, Ty Morton here over here to my side. If you've watched in the past and you've seen the show, you may know who Tyler is. But we're going to get into who he is. Good morning, Tyler. What's up, man?
Good morning. I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Doing good. Super Bowl Monday, the day after the Super Bowl. How do you feel?
I'm good. No alcoholic beverages last night, so feeling great this morning.
Same. What about the results? I mean, Eagles blowout. Is that what we were thinking, or?
Oh, I'm thrilled. I didn't think it'd be a blowout. I mean, after they beat the Commanders, I was like, okay, they're here to play, but I didn't think it was going to be a blowout like it was, and so I'm happy. I like seeing a change in the NFL guard, if you will.
Yeah, no doubt.
Just I don't want to see another dynasty. I lived through New England.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's the three-peat would have been wild, but to even get there a third time, I think was impressive enough.
Yep.
But I kind of enjoyed how the Chiefs kept kind of throwing the ball. I mean, they didn't really give up. So 22-40 looks a lot better than what we all know actually happened out there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's funny because with about 4 minutes left, we actually turned it off, and my kid comes down. He was brushing his teeth, getting ready for bed, and he comes down and goes, "Wait, did you know it's 22-40?" I was like, "Wait, what?" I didn't see those last two.
Yeah, there's we do, and real quick, I'll show Lisa's here, our faithful Lisa Thompson. Good morning. She's in Atlanta. Thank you so much for being here on the show. You're going to hear a lot today, Lisa, so comment and like it as you wish. But yeah, so we do Super Bowl squares, right? And we do them as a fundraiser. So all those folks who, 4 minutes left thought they were going to hit a little bit, we ended up with a 2-0 for the winner. So that was pretty cool. $2,000 we raised for Children's Miracle Network through that fundraiser. Pretty amazing.
Awesome.
Good stuff. But all right, Ty Morton's in the house. I'm going to pass over to you. Tell the people who you are. Why are you on this show? We at Rise Up look for the extraordinary and the extra and the extraordinary. So what brings you here? Why did we call you yet again?
I don't know. No, I'm kidding. No, Tad and I, gosh, we've known each other for a long time now. And just started talking. I think we were talking about AI the other day, and he was like, "Hey, will you jump on another Rise Up?" And I was like, "Absolutely." And so, kind of my background is I'm a REMAX broker owner up in Ohio. I've got offices Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana, and my background was I shouldn't say it's in tech, but I've always been curious about tech enough to go in and break things, and so that is kind of what led me to where I'm at today. The quick story is that in 2007, when we opened our office, our first office, I was, I didn't have 10,000 square feet. I didn't have 10 employees working the front desk. So I had to come up with systems and learn to automate a lot of our processes. And so we became very tech dependent at that point. And that, I think, brought us to who we are and what we do today. And so we've just kind of continued that forward and been, in my opinion, the leader in tech in our markets.
Oh, very cool. And you may have already said it. Tell the people where you're at.
Yeah, so I'm in Dayton, Ohio. Born and raised, can't get away, and really wouldn't have it any other way. Although I did reach out to you a couple weeks ago saying, "Hey, what do you think about these condos?"
These Myrtle Beach condos,
yeah. When it's 20 degrees like it is today, those are days when I'm like, man, it'd be nice to be somewhere a little bit warmer.
Yeah, that's a good point. So those of you listening, we're in the coastal region of the Carolinas. We have offices from Wilmington down to Charleston, where we Tad and myself are hosting the podcast out of, but we have guests from everywhere. So can't seem to get out of Ohio, but when it's cold enough, Ty will send me a few listings and say, "What do you think about these condos, Vince?" But the joke with Ohio, man, I'm an aerospace guy. I went to Embry-Riddle, that there's a lot of astronauts from there because they want to get really, really far away. So what's that all about, man?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've got Wright-Patterson Air Force Base here, so that's my Dad was 33 years civil service there, then went down and worked contractors for Georgia Tech. But two planes you see behind me, he was chief engineer on. And now my brother said he wasn't going to be like my dad, and instead of going to joining the Air Force as a civil servant, he went and worked for the Navy for a year.
Oh, nice.
And then came back and works for the Air Force. So
There you go. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Proud Air Force guy here. But all right, well, we've got quite a few people on here listening to the show this morning, so I'm not going to keep small talking with you like I could. Kelly Coggins, look, she's already prompted me like, Vince, get on with it. She says she's excited to learn more about AI. So, Ty, I don't have a prompt here or any kind of flow. I will say, we kind of talked earlier, I think we are beyond the days of just hopping on ChatGPT to make a listing description for us that may or may not include a pool that does or doesn't exist. So if you're still thinking we're just going to talk about listing descriptions in ChatGPT, be ready, because this is so much more than that. So Ty, I want you to just kind of go into where your head's at right now, what you're working on. Obviously, you can talk about the theory of the future of AI if you'd like, but also it'd be cool to give the listeners some tangible sites and programs and things that you prefer and that you vet. So where are you at? You're the leading in your industry, in your area. Where are we at right now? What initiatives are we taking with AI?
Yeah, I think, ChatGPT is where I think everyone heard about AI first, right? 2 years ago, just over 2 years ago, I think December. That's when I started Tech with Ty, which is my email newsletter that goes out. And it was like this just explosion of information that was coming at us as far as AI is concerned. And so I decided to start writing about it on almost a weekly basis because it's changing so quickly.
Right.
And so, yeah, I think a lot of people use ChatGPT very generically, like, hey, I've got a 3-bedroom, 2-bath listing in whatever city. Here's a little bit of details about it. Write me a listing description. And that's great. Like, that saves agents, 5 to 10, 20 minutes of time, depending on how long or how many characters you have for your listing descriptions. But it's gotten so good in the last, we call it leapfrog innovation. Because you had ChatGPT and then you've got all these other models like Llama and DeepSeek's the new one that everyone was talking about, which has gotten, crazy results for things that we don't necessarily use it for. And so I don't want to get lost in the weeds and go through a bunch of tech that is necessarily, I can go hypothetical all day. Sure. But I don't want to get lost in the weeds by saying, oh, you need to hop on DeepSeek because it's exponentially better than ChatGPT. Okay. For the majority of people on this call or on this stream, ChatGPT will do 99% of what you need it to do. But I think the issue is agents don't know what to ask it.
Okay, so the prompting, and that I'm super glad you said that because I didn't expect you to say that. But for me, the noise of all of it gets overwhelming. So even let's say we're talking about CRMs. Oh, well, this does this, this does this, this does this. Well, which one do I use? Oh my gosh. So hearing that GPT's got the capabilities probably for what I'm going to need, because that makes it less scary.
Yeah.
As opposed to needing 19 Google Chrome extensions to make this.
And I do love my Google Chrome extensions. I mean, if I look up here, I've got Scribe AI documentation. I've got a couple that plug into YouTube. I love those just for, I don't necessarily always have an hour to watch a YouTube video that I want to watch. And right. some of those there are plenty of extensions that will grab the information from that YouTube video and summarize it for me. Okay. And so I'm a big fan of stuff like that.
So we can start the YouTube video via Scribe.
There's one called scribe.ai. If I don't think I'm logged into the right browser. I've got.
And then for those of you listening, Ty is in Dayton, so referral partner, first of all, in real estate. Incredible office there. Secondly, I'm sure he's open to emails and deeper discussion on anything he might mention today.
For sure.
Because, we believe a rising tide raises all ships. We're collaborators. We share the wealth. So that's why I poked you there. Scribe.ai sounds like a good option too.
Absolutely. Let's see. If I head over to YouTube here, do you care if I share my screen?
Please do.
Yeah, hang on. 2 seconds. Present.
You got the good stuff. Let's see it. And if you guys aren't subscribed on Ty's newsletter, we'll post that too in the comments. Tech with Ty, it's pretty special. It's one of the few I actually read weekly.
All right, I'm not going to play the video, but over here, this is the one that I use, and it will summarize the video just with a click of a button.
Oh, we're not seeing you. Let's see. Is there something I need to do?
I don't think. Oh, I clicked the wrong window. That is entirely my fault. I thought I was sharing the whole window, but let's try it one more time. How about now?
Just you. Oh, look, but I can add it to the stage. Boom. Here we are.
There you go. All right. So yeah, over on the right-hand side, you'll see this is what I use. And I can summarize it just with the click of a button. So I've got my settings open. It's preparing the summary for me right now.
Wow, very cool.
And so like this is a 15 or 10-minute video. This one wouldn't be a good case that, because I'll probably just throw this on the background. Oh, there you go. Subtitles aren't available.
Mm-hmm. But this is a tool that you can take an hour-long video, prepare it.
Absolutely.
Yep. Really.
And let's see, what am I using? It's called Edify Pro.
Okay.
And I believe I'm using the free trial. I don't think I'm paying for it. I only get so many videos that I can actually go in and summarize, but it does help tremendously.
You can almost take that summary from the hour-long video, go back to GPT, and get it to create you a personal video script with your tone. For
sure. So one of the things that I use frequently is Apple Notes. And since they've got this added feature now called record audio.
Okay.
You do that and it will give you the entire transcription of your notes. So like when we were at the last REMAX conference, or I was at my last MLS committee meeting, I had notes, taking and transcribing an hour worth of meetings. And then I threw it into GPT and said, hey, summarize this for me with bullet points. And so like if you're taking meeting minutes or anything like that, those are huge time savers as opposed to handwriting them down or even typing them into your iPad or your laptop. But I do want to go into, we talked about prompts a little bit and what GPT's capable of. So let me actually share that screen because I was actually using it this morning right before our call.
And we're going to let Ty keep flowing, and then Nancy and Kelly, we'll get to your questions as well in just a few minutes.
Yeah. So I asked the question. So I'm jumping between a lot of the different GPTs that are out there. So 4.0 is like the base of the best that's out there right now.
Okay.
And you can upload documents to it. You can ask it to search the web or do deep research. But they have more options up here on the left. And 03 Mini is the one that I've been using more than anything. It's ridiculously fast and will do that deep research very, very well. So I wanted to ask it this prompt. I want a prompt for GPT-03 to research and analyze the traits of highly successful real estate agents. I want it to be very detailed so that I get the best results from the research. And so rather than me trying to prompt and ask it to do the research, I said, hey, I'm going to ask ChatGPT to give me the prompt. And I will tell you that is the biggest game changer that you can do with ChatGPT. Ask it to give you the prompt to ask it a question.
That's incredible.
It's so silly, but it will articulate much better, and you can change it if you'd like, but it will better articulate and ask those questions than you could possibly imagine. And so like I've got here, core traits and mindset of top performers, sales and marketing strategies of top agents, tech and tools by elite agents, time management and productivity techniques. And you can see the questions here. Client relationship management and referral strategies, negotiation to closing skills, market knowledge, data mastery, mindset, motivation, resilience, and the list goes on. So then I switched over and I went, you'll notice here, I went to GPT-03 Mini and I threw that prompt in.
That whole thing was the prompt.
What's that?
The whole thing was the prompt.
The whole thing was the prompt.
Okay.
So I put that in there.
Okay.
And you can say, this is a comprehensive research request. And it had some questions to ask me for clarification. So it asked me, who was the target audience? Who was the geographical focus? What kind of data would I like? And report format.
So this is the back and forth?
Yeah. And so it's asking so it can better tailor those responses to how I would like them. And so I gave it my response, and you can see it took 12 minutes to look this up with 24 different sources. And you can see those. You can see kind of its logic and its thinking over on the right-hand side. And hang on a second.
Yeah, sure.
So if I scroll down, now I've got all my traits and all the research behind it. It's like having a research paper. If you ever wrote like a thesis in high school or college or anything like that, it's like having that with all of the different resource links in here. So if you want to put that out, and I'm using this as a broker, if you wanted to use this as a real estate agent, you certainly can. I mean, you could research market data. You could research, why are people moving to my location? And it's going to go out and it's going to find all of those different articles. And now I can tell it, okay, this is great. This is really, really long. Right? And so I could just say, create a social media campaign for this research to help me attract top producers.
So now you have done the research for the market.
Yep.
You're creating the campaign.
Yep.
You publicly post what makes a great agent, and you're going to share that information.
Yeah.
We're all in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
With 24 sources to cite.
Right. But I mean, if you look down at my list on the left-hand side, I use it all the time, including helping my kid with math. 4-digit code combinations. We were trying to figure out what is the, how many possibilities are there on this electronic lock. And so it was exponentials, and it was fun. To checking to see if this gluten or this salmon recipe was gluten-free for my wife. Then you go into, CMA text campaigns, clarifications. Victoria is an app that I've been working on for my agents and other brokers that is kind of like ChatGPT on steroids, because we're training it on very specific responses.
Okay.
And agents can ask it anything. They could ask it for accounting questions based on all of our accounting data. We're training it on, all of the different campaigns, all of our contracts, all of these different things that you have available to you. And so the more data that you can provide it, the better it's going to be.
I would love to talk about Victoria if you're open to it.
Yeah.
And kind of how that looks. But real quick, I'm going to throw a question up. We may have to change screens, but Nancy Scully says, do you have a recommendation for pictures of a dated room to show an option? So what are we using for imaging in the AI world right now?
Yeah, so there's it's been a minute since I've used it. AI photo editing for real estate. If you just Google this, I'm sure it's going to be the first one that pops up.
Okay.
And it is not a Voto. It is not AI home design. So I lied. It is not any of the first ones. I know I pay a monthly subscription for it because I use it quite a bit for our office, and it gives you so many different editing capabilities. And it's not perfect by any means, but it is ridiculously cheap. So let me see if I can pull that up for you in 1 second.
Nancy, if he needs to find that later, we can, and then I'll make sure that I put it in the comments as well. But I know that this sounds. What do you say to the average agent who might be using Canva? And I've played with the AI tools, and I've expanded images where it's created images for me. Like, is any of that make any sense, or is it better just to go some of the real market?
Yeah, I think the thing that works better than the AI for Canva is the ability to bulk edit. Okay. So you could create a template that you could customize, let's say, for each one of your clients, whether it's, let's call it Valentine's or Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You could customize that just by having a spreadsheet. So if you are using a CRM, you've got their name, you've got their phone, their email, or in your case, Vince, you could edit that for your office. You could have the agent's name, phone number, email, website, etc. And so you can bulk create 1,000 designs if you want. It's going to take a while, but it's going to be way faster than you creating those designs on your own.
So
the bulk edit feature, or the CSV file integration, I think, with Canva,
that would be something you could use for mailers potentially.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So if you're smart farming or postcard mailing,
yep,
you can bulk design there. It'll actually input the names of that homeowner. based on your data from your spreadsheet. And it'll spit out that. So I know we have some teams and some agents that definitely bulk mail, so that's something to think about. While you're looking up that photo editor, Kelly Coggins is asking if you create individual GPTs because she has several.
Yes, I have a ton.
So give us, what does that mean? I don't know what that means.
Yeah, so if you're in ChatGPT, let me just share screen one more time.
You can keep it up.
I say that and it will be multiple times today.
Yeah, keep it up, and you can add yourself to stage and all that.
Yep.
You know, I think you're the reason we know about StreamYard, this platform anyway.
Yep.
So you know,
unfortunately I cannot add the stage.
Okay, I gotcha. So boom, there we go.
Perfect. So yeah, up here at the top, you have different options, and you can actually create custom GPTs. There's a couple ways to do it, and I typically don't do it within. You can do it up here in the store, but I don't do it that way because I have it tied to a bunch of different APIs. But let me give you a quick example here. Let me go to my assistants. So we've created all these different assistants. Let's go.
This is real live in-person AI. We're in it, people. We are in it right now.
All right, so I've created all these different assistants, and I'll give Kristen the shout out, Kristen and Megan down in REMAX Atlanta, because I created all these different ones for them. We've got a marketing assistant, and we've got system instructions. And again, I used ChatGPT to create all of these because it's just going to do a better job of creating the system instructions for each one of these assistants. So we've got one based on marketing assistant, field services, listing input and changes, broker questions. And let me use broker questions as an example. We've got very specific instructions that tell it, hey, we want you to learn these documents, but also don't ever give legal advice, because I don't want the AI system to necessarily give a broker response without me checking it. And that's what we built with Victoria, is the ability for brokers and admins to check the information. So it's suggesting a response that we're manually reviewing at the moment. Eventually it will get good enough after we train it better that a lot more of it will be automated. But if I go over here to files, you can see the vector store that I've created. So we've got exclusive buyer broker engagement, policy manual, special stipulations, purchase and sales agreements, stipulations, seller broker engagement agreements. I actually scraped their entire blog from the last 5 years and created a JSON file for that. Department of Georgia Real Estate Commissions, REMAX, their orientation guide, and I also...
These are all supplements that are pertinent to their market.
Exactly. And so like this one, Georgia License Law, REMAX around Atlanta. That was created using Notebook LM. Have you played with that at all?
Mm-mm.
So Notebook is awesome.
So you're building the assistant's brain. You're putting what it should know.
Yes.
And then you can go back and ask it questions based on the 40 documents I've uploaded that I didn't want to read, but it's automatically reads them, and it's going to give me the answer.
Yeah, so like this would be a good example of one that agents would use. And I'll actually start this from scratch. Let me just create a new one.
Yeah, pay attention here, folks. We've got at least 20 folks watching right now, so I'm the agent at home, and I'm like, what the heck does any of this mean? Tyler's start from scratch.
All right, so if I want to grab this data from Dayton Realtors, which is my hometown, this is where all the statistics lie. It's got all of this great data, right? Mm-hmm. You can actually go over to, I'm sorry, you didn't have that on your screen. I was just sharing my tab, but I went to Dayton Realtors. I'm going to go to add source, and I'm just going to click website link. So I'm going to paste that in there.
Easy enough.
And click insert.
You've logged into your MLS basically. And
it's not even logged in. This is just on the homepage of our MLS. And so I can see, okay, here's the source data.
Sure.
And I can say, okay, let's go over here and create a briefing doc.
Okay.
And it will generate that based on all the data that's on that website. And if I wanted to add in YouTube videos, if you go to add source here, you've got a number of different things. You can choose files from your computer, PDFs, text documents, Google Docs, Google Slides, websites, YouTubes, or you can just copy and paste text.
Okay.
And you can add up to 50 different sources on that. So, all right, it created this huge note over here on this side. And you can see this is what they call the studio note or the briefing document.
Yeah, and look, this is the exact feedback that I'm thinking in my brain right now. Kelly, I'm with you. Ty, we're opening a can of worms here, man. We're gonna have to get a 4-week series, long episode. I wasn't sure if we'd go the whole hour. We might.
So yeah, I would take that, and instead of just copying what's on the website and pasting that in a ChatGPT, let's copy that. And
so you're teaching us to prompt right now.
Yeah. So I'm going to go back to ChatGPT.
Okay, we can see.
And say, create a social media campaign for the following. Data.
So now I'm giving my viewers social media data straight from the link from my Dayton, Ohio page, right into my market. That's accurate. That's current. That I didn't have to write.
Yeah. And this is what I love about O3 is you can see the logic and it's thinking through, okay, so the goal is to create a social media strategy that uses Dayton real estate market data. I'll focus on the data for platforms like such and such.
Right.
And there it is.
Because it knows the algorithms and it knows.
Oh, yeah. Way better than you and I.
Yeah.
All right. So the calendar and sample posts.
So it's pretty wise to just make these posts in this order with these words because it's done the hard part for you.
Yeah.
And then you can
do story post.
Scheduling all these out too, so that social media campaign is done. Maybe every Tuesdays are your market updates to your social media followers, or to your newsletter, and you're just doing this. You're setting this and forgetting it for 12 weeks.
Yeah, give me a script for the 30-second video.
Yeah, based on that data. So Notebook LM. I guess where my brain was not connecting was you're just copy and pasting from one to the other. So It's not so scary. It's not, you don't have to link everything.
No, not at all. And here's the really crazy part. All right. So it just gave me that's a 30-second video.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit cheesy. So I mean, again, your prompts are what make the data on ChatGPT work. So I literally just tell it, make it less cheesy. As dumb as that sounds.
No, it gets it.
But I do want to go back to Google Notebook LM because I want to show you one of the coolest things that it can do. All right, so there you go.
Yeah.
Going back to Notebook real quick.
Perfect, we got you.
So one of the cool things that it did is it will do this audio overview, and you can just hit generate. And it will create a podcast based on all of the source data that you gave it.
So we just lost our jobs, Tad. You're listening, taking care of sick kids. We just lost our jobs.
Like, it's really freaking good at it too. Like, it's engaging. It sounds like a real life podcast. There's a couple times where I've heard those, like they call them AI hallucinations or artifacts, where you'll hear just like a weird blurb of audio. But for the most part,
this is going to be two people talking, or
it's going to be two people talking. And one of the cool things that they just added in here is the ability for you to interrupt it and ask it a question, and they will pick right back up. Like, it's acting like you're a studio caller.
Okay.
So you could call into your own podcast that you've created based on this, ask it a question, and it will answer that question based on the data. So you're prompting it in the middle of a live audio stream. It's kind of weird.
I could load as many sources as I wanted. You loaded the Dayton page. I could load as many as I wanted, and it could go as deep as I'd like it to.
Yeah. I mean, if you're studying, like if you're thinking about getting a real estate license, for example, and you have all the study materials, you could create a study guide. Like, students should definitely be using this.
Yeah.
FAQs. So if you have documents and all your training stuff as an office, you could create FAQs. I've never used the timeline feature, so I couldn't tell you what that does. I'm
trying to like I haven't deep dove the world of AI. I'm just trying to process right now. Like, mentally, this is it's ingeniously simple, yet it's complex.
Right.
So the message, I think, partially is, what do you say to that person that's like, oh, I don't need to learn anything like this at all? That agent that's not worried about it, or, I mean, is that wise? Can you still do it without this?
You can. Again, I would just use the tools that are available to you, and I'm going to call it cheat the system. Like copy and paste, and it is kind of creating a Frankenstein system to go from one system to the other. But I don't think there's one system, and ChatGPT is probably the closest by all means. No, Google LM is free, or Notebook.
Notebook LM is free. That's good to know. So what we're watching now is free. Oh, look, we've got a podcast, a 10-minute podcast that's been created.
I don't know if you'll be able to hear this. I'll try to play it, but
all right. Get ready to dive deep, folks. We're going headfirst into the Dayton real estate world.
We are.
We've got this this year-end 2024 report. It's from Dayton Realtors.
That's right.
And it's it's hot off the press.
Yeah.
All about single-family homes and condos.
Yep.
It's a lot of numbers.
It is.
But you know what? We're gonna figure out what it all means.
Absolutely.
For you, the listener. Doesn't matter if you're a homeowner or thinking of buying or just kind of curious.
Yeah, just want to know what's going on.
What's going on?
Ooh,
So let's
well, let me tell you.
Yeah.
2024 was a wild one.
Was it ever?
It was, sales volume was up over 5%, which is pretty good, right?
It's impressive.
But the total value of all the homes sold, that jumped by 14%.
14.
Whoa,
that's got to be way more than we usually see.
So I could just teach myself based on the site and let them tell me in a pleasurable listening way.
Yeah, that's the thing is, like, especially, there are things that I want to learn more about. Like, if I would probably take all of that data that I just showed you from ChatGPT on what makes a successful agent. I'll turn that into a podcast and I'll listen to that, because I'm not going to read 25 pages of data.
So we're actually behind by getting on here in real life, in real time, in 2 different time zones, and having this conversation right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking all kinds of, think about parenting, right? My kid's into Dogman books. I have no idea what the Dogman books are. So I'm going to upload into Notebook, and I'm going to learn in a 10-minute podcast. They're going to tell me on my next drive, so I can come home and talk with my kid about the books he loves to read.
Oh, you're going to learn all about Dogman.
Yeah, very cool. And there's a movie coming out. So you guys that are listening, there's still several of you out there. Throw some questions at Ty. We've got him live right now. Clearly, he knows where to click and what to show and do. And this is screen shared, and we upload these, so you're going to be able to go back and watch and see where he clicked when, and all that good stuff. So what else you got for us, Ty? Let's just keep it rolling, man.
Yeah, so let's see.
I'm a real estate agent. I'm watching this podcast that's real about AI. You're here. I'm here. I want to be better at my job using some of this stuff. It scares me. What next?
Virtualstaging.ai was the website that I use.
All right, Nancy, virtualstaging.ai. You can see it right there on the screen. If you're still with us, I think you are. And there you go. There's your before and afters.
Yeah, the only thing that I think it's lacking, especially if you have like a dated home, the only thing that I felt that it was lacking was it couldn't really relate. It would put more modern furniture in some of those dated homes, and it just didn't match.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I could get pretty dang close to what I was looking for.
And you just tell it the style of furniture and things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's 28 cents an image.
It's an image. Yeah, you can't beat that. I mean, maybe you can, but to not have to go buy and move furniture, I'll take it.
Yeah. The other one I tried out was called autoenhance.ai.
Kelly's looking for a direct line. So whenever Ty opens his coaching company one day, only thing is you might be getting his avatar, but it's still just as good as the real thing, or better. As you once told me, that I said, Ty, am I talking to you or your avatar? And you said, if you were talking to my avatar, it would just be a better version of me.
Yeah, and that's I've tried a bunch, and I talked about it in Tech with Ty last week. Hey Jen by far is the best avatar creator.
Hey Jen. We got another comment here from Jessica. Says, asking ChatGPT to ask what you should ask ChatGPT is just mind-blowing, right?
Yeah, I'm not smart enough to figure out or take the time to, ask or research enough to ask the best prompts. And so having it do it for you is such a time saver. When I started building Victoria, I don't know how to code at all. Like, I know basic HTML. And I was using a couple different apps. One's called Stack Blitz, and the other one I can't even think of at the moment.
Yeah.
But I was using these apps that were AI coders, and I built the entire app that way. Now, getting it over to Firebase or to Amazon Web Services is way beyond my comprehension. Mm-hmm. And so I would ask ChatGPT. I mean, I was spending hours, like 4 to 5 hours every night. Like, how do I do this? So give me step-by-step instructions on how to do this. And one of the coolest things on ChatGPT, especially when I drive down to Kentucky about once a week. And one of the really cool things that I started using was the voice feature. So right there, you'll see ChatGPT pop up, and I started asking it, I started just, it sounds stupid, but I was having conversations on my way to Kentucky about like, hey, what other features could I build out on this app that I'm not thinking of? And it would, respond back, and it responds in a real life voice, almost like that podcast. And, that'd be a cool trial instead of using Notebook LM.
Yeah.
You could have ChatGPT be your podcast co-assistant and see how that goes.
I've seen people use it for, I'm not condoning, or I don't know if this is a better or not option. I've seen people use it for mental health and therapy and someone to talk to even, which is wild. But hey, before we continue in, I do want to see the HeyGen. For those of you listening, so Ty, super successful broker owner, tech guy in the real estate space, you're hearing him rattle off 7, 8, 9, 10 different apps and sites and things, right? So the first thing that comes to mind to me is leverage, right? So Ty thinks in a certain way to leverage, right? He's the type of person to leverage because we thinking people in our systems, and he's using these apps as a part of his system to leverage, okay? So there's probably a lot of things we're doing out there that are taking some time. That there's tech that's out there that we need to open our arms up to, give it a big hug, and have it teach us what it does even at this point, which is pretty cool to think about.
Yeah, so I'm going to just give you a quick example of a short that I created using my avatar. And this is probably 4 or 5 months ago, maybe even 6. And
so you've uploaded a picture of your face.
And this one I actually trained. So we do a ton of video, right? Okay. And all you need is your phone. Okay. So take one of your past videos and you can upload it over to, HeyGen, and it will create an avatar for you. So this is back in April of 2024. That's how long ago. So almost a year.
Okay.
Welcome to the latest market update for
I took the stats, I threw them into RPR. I had ChatGPT create the script. I just plugged it in, and it takes my ugly mug and creates a video using it.
Beaver Creek, Ohio. Right now, the housing scene here is buzzing. With a 1.1 month supply of inventory, this marks a significant uptick of more than 59% over the past year.
So it's a little robotic, but again, that's a year ago.
But you never recorded that video?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
Okay. Give us the A to Z on that, because I know someone listening is going to want to do that and use that, if you don't mind. And it doesn't have to be super in detail, but where did you start? GPT for the script, RPR for the stats?
Yeah, let me go over to HeyGen real quick. I'll log in into a couple different systems here.
We can talk in theory all day, but there's nothing better than showing it right here.
Right. No, I agree. Let's see. Google.
Ty's going to wish he put his avatar up on this interview.
I did see a really cool one. My buddy sent me the other day. I'm in a group chat with a bunch of friends, and it was a really cool app that allowed you to be anywhere but look like you're sitting in your office on your Zoom meetings.
Very cool.
There was a bunch of government workers joking about like, hey, it could look like I'm in my office, but I could be on the beach.
Yeah. That's the guy that he had the green screen harness that he made behind him. He had AI, and he would be literally on the slopes acting like he was into his meeting, and his boss
right.
Where are you? But yeah, hilarious.
All right. So I'm trying to log in here for you so I can show you.
Got another question as you're logging in. I know you can multitask. Potential for fraud in AI. That's a great question, Jeff.
Oh, 100%. I mean, it can mimic your voice. So you're going to have phone calls that sound like it's your mom or your cousin or your brother. And you're not going to be able to tell the difference. So I think it's important to come up with a password or something like that to make sure if you get a call from a family member that's asking for money, you can then say, hey, this isn't really you because you didn't know the password, right?
Mm-hmm.
As dumb as that sounds, it's like having somebody pick up your kids.
Yeah.
My kids and I have a password.
Yeah, it's like sign countersign in the military. We had all the time. If you walk up, I say blue, you better say J back, blue J, or else we're not friends, and I have to shoot you now. Like,
Right.
So I get it.
Okay, so let me share my screen again here. We'll just show this step by step. Let's go present.
This is fun. I hope everyone else is having as much fun as I am out there. It's pretty good. We might not even be talking to Ty Morton right now, guys. I'm not fully convinced after seeing your skills here that this is actually you.
All right, so I'm just going to choose a new listing. Let's go with this one right here. Oh, it's a farm. That's fine. We're going to go over to RPR, and you all should have access to RPR.
Mm-hmm, we do. For the coastal listeners, it's in your login. RPR is right there.
But I can go up here to neighborhood search, which is what I did for that particular one. Let's go Beaver Creek, Ohio. All right, so let's see. I thought it was there. I may have lied. There should be a button over here. Let's go residential market trends, maybe.
The Art Realty team says he didn't deny that it's not really Tyler. Has us wondering if you're on the beach right now.
I am not on the beach. I wish I was, but I am not.
I know that's your office because you always have those posters behind you, so that would be cool.
Okay.
Awesome.
I am not finding the stupid link for this. It's not a big deal. Let me show you without using, because I actually don't think RPR's API is the best, or their AI. So let's go back to, let's go just neighborhood search. And we'll type that in, and I'll show you how to do this.
So we're gonna make a video.
Yeah, so we take this and we say, okay, here's all the data.
Okay.
I'm just going to create a report and market activity. Yeah, that's fine. Continue with this template.
Perfect.
Beaver Creek.
See all the pages of data there. Good.
Yep. And it's going to give me all that data.
Yep.
We'll just click run. And it's going to be probably faster just to use this link.
Okay. But you can also download, I see.
You can also download, but let's go back to chat.
Not even in the AI world, some folks might not even know RPR will spit out your market data like that. So now you know that as well.
Create a script for let's call it a 60-second video.
Okay. So we all know we can get the scripts, but we're going to go a step further. We're going to then take the script into HeyGen.
Yep.
And we're going to have a video. And I have a video today that I'm due for. So I'm probably going to do it this way.
All right, here we go. Hey there, I'm Tyler Morton, giving you, okay. And so I would say remove subheadings.
Mm-hmm.
Just give me the script.
You can tell it your name too, I guess. I like how it reasons.
Well, and I probably shouldn't be using that one for this process because like 4.0 or 4 mini would be way easier.
Yeah. All right, so we've got a little video action.
Yep. All right, so here we go. And let's go over to HeyGen. And let's see if I can remember my login.
This is going to be cool. I'll remove that just until you get logged in, so nobody's counting characters.
Okay, so this is just a demo account that I had, so you can copy it all you want. But you can go in here and you can see I've uploaded a couple different ones. We're going to
These are past videos or pictures of yourself?
Yeah, past video. I just did this one in front of a green screen.
Okay, my wife's going to love this because she runs her own company and hates video. So,
all right. So we're going to use, I don't know why that one won't work. Let's try a different one. Could be because I was originally a premium user and I downgraded because I wasn't using this.
But conceptually, you pick your look.
Yeah.
Avatar.
All right, so let's create a portrait video. Create my first video.
Choose avatar type script video. Perfect.
All right. And I hate this template, so we're just going to go.
And you can create your own custom template, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, put yourself in a nice little office space there.
All right.
So now we've kind of got a hybrid, like Canva plus video editor look here.
Yeah. And so you would just throw in your script here.
You can layer music and things, I'm sure.
Yep. And change the voice over to my voice.
Hello, this is how I sound.
Hello, this is how I sound. Make me sound like this.
Right. Okay, so that sounds great. Oh, my voice is expired.
Of course.
But you get the idea. I mean, it's no work at all for me to say, hey, I mean, if I wanted to use Rebecca here, there she is. And we'd hit play over here.
Sound like you?
No. Yeah, because I had upgraded to the pro version at one point, which was fairly expensive. I think it was like $129 a month just for HeyGen.
Hey everyone, I'm Tyler Morton. In the next 60 seconds, I'm giving you a quick rundown of our latest.
So she sounds too robotic. That's why I liked having my own voice on there.
Your own voice. Yeah. Got it.
But yeah, so you could certainly, I think I was paying $129 or $119 just for the HeyGen platform, and that could create X amount of videos per month. But then they had like a pro level avatar that really went in and refined what you looked and sounded like. And it was significantly better.
So how much was that one? Because I'm just going to do a quick little math here. Let's say,
I think it was $79. So it's about $200 a month.
Okay. So let's say we're at $200 annually. You're spending $2,400, expensable, of course. Now, if you are going to consistently create video that's believable because you're paying the extra for that defined version, and you're going to have, I don't know, 12 monthly videos, realistically.
That would be at minimum, and I would use it even more than that.
And you would have it just constantly pumping content out. You're just feeding it scripts that have written themselves from random sites that the data is good, and you're pumping out content. If that can't lead to one transaction annually,
right,
then we need to figure something else out. So that $2,400 pays for itself, in my opinion, from an entrepreneurial mindset. So
yeah, the one that I just tried and I wrote about last week was the Captions app on your phone.
Yes.
And they've got an AI. I actually canceled that service immediately. It was so bad.
Okay, so the Captions AI currently, as it stands, is not the route.
But yeah, if you look at, oh gosh, what was the one that I just saw? It was made by ByteDance.
I'm going to do, how do I share your Tech with Ty? Is there a link for subscribing?
Yeah, if you go to,
it's probably in my email, actually.
Yeah, if you go to agentafterhours.com/blog.
That's where I got it from last time. I'm going to go ahead and post in the comments here, guys. So none of this is like cosmic that we know today from Ty. Ty's been sending this out in weekly digestible bites for, I don't know, a couple years now. I don't know how long Tech with Ty's been
just
around.
Over 2 years. Yeah, I think we're on like 107 right now or something like that.
I've been subscribed for at least a year. In the comments, you'll see the link to Agent After Hours. That's the subscribe link itself. And if you have trouble with it, let me know. But he gives you all this weekly, even things on how to create actual uplighting when you're doing a video. But now it may not even be relevant anymore.
Right.
All right, what do we got here, Ty? What are you showing us now? I got a few minutes left.
Yeah, so this is AI. This is AI generated from a single photo. So obviously, Albert Einstein. This is called OmniHuman. This is owned by ByteDance, who owns TikTok. And you can see all these different examples they made, again, just based off of a single photo. And so when I say it's coming, you're not going to be able to tell the difference between me and a virtual avatar.
So yes, Jeff. Are we going to get this step further where I'm going to create a lighted image of you, a hologram, Ty, in the room with me? I could put my hand through you, but us conversating, avatar, where you can coach us in Myrtle Beach. You can call,
I hope so.
You can listen. We can ask, hey, Ty, what was that Notebook LM? And you'll say, oh, it was Notebook LM.
Yeah, no, I think that's certainly coming in the future. I think I saw it was probably on like Jimmy Fallon or something, where he had a virtual hologram in like the hallway and was, he could see, had a camera, people walking by and would say their names. So he'd be like, hey, Vince, how you doing today? And people were like freaked out, like, how do you know I'm here?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's in the future.
The lines at Disney are going to get much more entertaining now.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can imagine on Toy Story Mania, which is the greatest ride of all time, and Disney already knows that, but I'm the champion. You cannot beat me at that game. I'll be able to talk to Woody hologram in line. Because Disney's going to be all over it, I'm sure.
Well, and you'll have your wristband, which will know who you are.
Yes.
And so they're gonna say your name.
Yeah, they're gonna know it's my birthday.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna wrap up, Ty. You've showed us Scribe, Adafy Pro, Notebook LM, virtualstaging.ai, Hadrian. I mean, we've covered a lot quickly. I like that we didn't go too deep. So we have just a few minutes left. I want you to give and I should have prepped you for this, but 2-minute spiel on, I'm a producer. I do anywhere from 2 to 20 million a year. This is how I provide for my family. I feel like there's not enough hours in the day. This all scares me. I'm overwhelmed. How should I view this? How should I think about this? What's the one tangible I should start learning? And kind of hit us with that.
I would go to ChatGPT.
Okay.
I would document what your day looks like on a daily basis. And I would start inputting that into ChatGPT and say, how can I use AI to optimize my business?
So just ask it.
Just ask it. And then we didn't even get into it. This is actually my favorite one.
Let's see.
So ChatGPT Operator just got launched the other week, which is an AI agent for you. So I'm going to show you an example. This will be your assistant going forward. So this is Operator.
Mm-hmm. And we have access to this, or do you have beta access because you're special?
No, I subscribe to ChatGPT Pro, which is the $200 a month level.
Okay.
But I can ask it pretty much anything. One of the things that I went in and had it do.
How many users do you get at that $200 a month?
It's just me.
So just the login. So can a team leader buy this and his team all use the same login and do its thing, or you don't want it to go that route?
Probably.
Okay.
But I sent a screenshot of my kids' soccer schedule.
Okay.
Which, I've got 3 different kids' schedules that I need to input all the time. And said, add this to my Google Calendar. And it went through all the steps and it added all of those to my Google Calendar for me.
That's very cool. I did not realize it.
That's such a generic. Actually, this is funny. I used it to search beach rentals.
Yeah.
So it will display a screen. It's going online for you and doing it whatever you ask it to do.
It's Expedia for you.
So I could visit Zillow and search for homes in South Carolina on the beach with the keyword short-term rental. View and browser. I found 154 rental listings in Myrtle Beach. I said, no, I'm only looking for ones that are for sale. Use the filter keyword, and it found them. And then I said, okay, put those into a spreadsheet for me.
Very Very nice.
So yeah,
Don't ask. You need to be nice to your GPT, Ty.
You do.
It's real. It's gonna come after you, man.
You do, but I mean, this will take. You're going to be able to upload a PDF. Like I tested this the other day, and I said, enter this listing into the MLS.
I know that's something you want to do,
and it did.
Yeah, it like into your profile, into your account.
It went into my MLS, and I gave it the data sheet. So, like, I'm sure all of you have data sheets that you use for reference when you're inputting something into the MLS. I gave it that, or actually, I extracted it from an old listing because I was just doing a demo. I used ChatGPT for that. I uploaded the PDF, said extract the data. I copied and pasted it and said, here's the data. Enter this into the MLS. And it went through step by step, mouse click by mouse click, and enter that listing into the MLS for me. You're going to be able to use that for filling out contracts.
One of your goals is leaving a property, telling your phone, hey, write an offer on this address.
Yep.
Let's get back to the office. It's written for you and done.
Yeah. That you'll see that, I think, in the next 6 months to a year, if not sooner.
So transaction coordinating, we're talking about we're gonna wrap up, but your Victoria is your company's assistant, avatar, employee. How do we think of that?
So it's an AI assistant, and we've trained it on all the documents that you kind of saw earlier. We have one specific to our office, but we've got that review process. So if an agent has a question like, what's the Wi-Fi password? They can ask Victoria that. It's going to give them the Wi-Fi password. But if they have a more in-depth question, or say they want, because the one thing AI is terrible at still is graphic generation, like for flyers. Because if any time that it's putting text on a graphic generation, it's really, really bad. Letters are all kind of wonky. It's misspelling things.
I'll go into Canva and I'll add my text that way.
Yep. And so the one thing it is bad at is marketing. And so if we have a marketing request, if you said, hey, I need flyers for an open house this weekend, you could ask Victoria that. It's going to send that request to Abby because it knows that Abby's my marketing director. She can respond back. It will actually prompt her with a response like, hey, I'm working on it. Do you have any preference on colors? And she'll just hit send. She doesn't have to write that. She'll hit send. They'll write back. And then she'll say, yeah, I'll have them to you by tomorrow.
So we have, in our office, we have a staff member for technology, a staff member for sales, a staff member for broker questions. We could have a Victoria, that's the hub. Agents can just go to the hub. It will then know who to send what questions to. Yeah.
It uses AI to decide what the question is based on voice transcription. We added the ability for you to text because some agents don't want to download the app.
Okay.
So we said, hey, just add Victoria to your contacts. You can text her anything you want. It could be an accounting question, a marketing request, a paperwork request, you name it, broker question. We've got all the different categories mapped. We have individual ChatGPTs created for each one of those.
This is an exciting time, Ty.
Yes.
This is an exciting time to be figuring out how to make your business more efficient. So agents that are listening, it's not just franchise owners or leadership. That this is all you. You guys can be using all of this at this point.
And if you don't know what to ask, just ask ChatGPT what to ask.
That's the message of today. If you don't know where to start, ask it, where do I start? Ask it, what subscriptions should I be purchasing based on what you know about me, based on what I've told you about me and my business and we talk a lot about living the life you want to live. So you know about how much volume you want to do to get the income to live the life you want. So you could probably tell it, hey, I'd like to make $150,000 in the real estate where our average sales price is this much. Our average commission is this much. That I need 22 transactions this year. Where do I start with AI to get there? Here's a little bit about me. Yeah. True or false? Yeah. Business planning, transaction coordinating, office systems, efficiencies, video imaging.
You can create a 12-month calendar like that.
Yeah. I showed my mother-in-law, who's a 40-year guidance counselor, and I said, create a annual curriculum for whatever for a third grade level. And she was like, it takes me weeks in the summer to build that. And now it doesn't. Now it's built, So, all right, Ty, that's an hour, man. That's all that I promised you we would keep you. I definitely know we had some great interaction today. Thank you so much, man, for being on here. Ty, where do we find you? How do we reach out to you for those that have been listening?
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram. It doesn't matter. Find me on all the social profiles, but if you have DMs you want to send or YouTube requests, I don't care. You can find me on all of them. But Agent After Hours is probably the easiest.
So go ahead, subscribe to Agent After Hours. That link is in the comments. Ty, we're going to let you go, man. Thanks so much for an awesome time today. And those of you listening, reach out to Ty for more. And you can believe if you're with us here in Myrtle Beach, we're going to start figuring some of this stuff out too on our end. So thanks so much for taking a little bit of time to rise up, everybody. Bye.
Okay, thank you.
Well, hey, that's a wrap, folks. Thank you so much for listening to Rise Up in Real Estate. If you liked hanging out with us today, please find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Rise Up in Real Estate. Also, follow us right now on your favorite podcast host to hear more episodes. We really appreciate you spending some of your time with us. And until next time, let's do each other a favor and all help each other rise up.